Hello and welcome to the Lincoln Journal's Candidate Forum for the Office of Lincoln County Sheriff. This is our second attempt at videoing the forum for Sheriff. We had some technical issues with the video at the public event last Monday night. This will allow us to upload all the videos from the candidate forums that we've had in one go, and we'll be doing that hopefully later on Sunday evening. The three candidates who joined us last Monday night are here with us again today. They are Lisa Ramey, the Republican candidate. We have Ken Farley, who is the Democratic candidate, and Greg Hensley, who is an independent candidate. There are four candidates for the office of Sheriff this year. Lisa was unopposed in the primary. Ken emerged from a four-candidate primary. Greg filed by signatures, and the fourth candidate, Lee Priest, was not present last Monday night and obviously isn't present here today. All four candidates are seeking the 4-year full term as Sheriff of Lincoln County. They will be succeeding David Vickers, who has served since the resignation of Jerry Bowman earlier this year. We're going to start with opening statements, and we did a random draw earlier today, and Greg Hensley gets to make the first opening statement. Greg.
Hello, my name is Greg Hensley. I'm currently the Chief Deputy here for the Sheriff's Office. I'm originally from Lincoln County. My entire family's from Lincoln County. I decided to run for the office of Sheriff because I wasn't happy with the way the office was performing, and I think I can make it perform better. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Ken, your opening statement.
My name is Ken Farley. I'm married to Susie Barker Farley. We live in Yawkey. We have 4 children. My occupation is coal miner. I have 4.5 to 5 year experience as law enforcement, and I feel that I have some good ideals that I feel would be good for the county, and that's why I run for sheriff.
Thank you, Ken. And Lisa.
Hello, I'm Lisa Ramey. I'm from Harts, West Virginia. I graduated from Harts High School, and I'm the 4th child of John and Molly Ramey of Harts, West Virginia. And I decided to run for sheriff because of the corruption and the crime problem and the drug problem we have here in Lincoln County, and I would like to see Lincoln County be a better place for everyone.
Thank you, Lisa. We'll start with our first question for the candidates, and Greg, you'll get to answer the first question first. Greg, what motivated you to run for the office of Lincoln County Sheriff?
As I said in my opening statement, I haven't been happy with the way that the office has performed. It's aggravating as an officer when someone comes in and they seem to be more concerned with getting to their next office as opposed to running the sheriff's office, as well as people come in with no law enforcement experience. It's difficult to sort of train your boss, so to speak, and that's my main motivation. Is I think I can make the office operate better than it has been. That's my sole interest, is in the sheriff's office. Thank you. Thank you,
Greg. Ken, same question to you. What motivated you to run for sheriff?
Like I said in my opening statement, I was deputy sheriff for 4.5 to close to 5 years, and I enjoy working with people. And law enforcement, it's every day is a different. It's a different challenge every day. Whether it's, like I said before, whether it's helping some elderly man across the street, or slowing some speeding car down in a school zone. It's I like to see progress, and if you're doing that, you're making progress. And I like just working with people of Lincoln County. I love living in Lincoln County, and like Greg said, that it's time to get our county back, and I think that I can be an asset to the Lincoln County.
Thank you, Ken. Lisa, same question to you. What motivated you to run for sheriff?
Well, it was there were several different things. I mean, as my opponent said, there's been a lot of problems here in Lincoln County. I feel that drugs have taken over the county, and we've not got a good grip on that. I feel that when the police do catch people breaking the law, they're not treated according to the law. Lots of times they get a slap on the hand, and I feel that with when that keeps happening, you know, we become a lawless society. And between that and where I work with special needs children, and I have a strong desire to help the elderly, and I just thought, well, if I'm going to complain, I need to get out and do something about it. So I decided to run for office.
Thank you, Lisa. We'll move to our second question. And our second question, and Ken, you get to answer this one first. Our second question concerns the sheriff term limits. There has been little discussion in state media regarding the referendum on sheriff term limits, when we'll be asked to either continue the 2-term limit for sheriffs or discontinue it. Do you believe the Constitution should be amended next week to remove the 2-term limit for sheriffs?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think it should be left up to the people of the county.
Good enough. Lisa, you yourself?
No, I'm a firm believer in term limits for all elected officials. I think that that breeds corruption, and that's what's happened here in Lincoln County. They move from one office to another with no regard to what the people want and what's best for the overall county. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And Greg, same question to you. Should the term limit be continued or just discontinued?
Well, I'm torn on term limits. On the one hand, if you get someone that does a good job, I can see the idea of wanting to keep them there, but then on the other hand, as Ms. Ramey says, you become too entrenched at some point, possibly lose touch. Having said that, I believe that the term limit for sheriff should stay in place.
Thank you. Lisa, you'll be the first to answer our third question, which concerns the amount of time you'd spend on the job. How much time per week would you devote to the role of sheriff?
Well, being sheriff is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week job. I mean, and, you know, crime doesn't stop. People need to be protected 24 hours a day. So you have to be on call, be there as needed, and be there for the public. You're a public servant, and you're supposed to serve and protect. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Greg, same question to you. How much time would you spend as sheriff each week?
For me, that's really not going to change a whole lot from what I'm doing currently. We're on call. People come to my house, call me at home now. That's pretty much I pretty much already have a 24-hour-a-day job now, so I foresee that being the same.
Thank you, Greg. And Ken, same question to you.
When you take that oath to serve the people, I mean, it just like I said, both said, it's 24/7, and when you take that oath, we're in uniform or not in uniform, just like this man here right now. He's a police officer right now. He is to protect this county, in uniform or out of uniform. Yes, it's a 24/7.
Thank you, Ken. Greg, we're back to you to answer the next question first. And the question is, does the county have enough deputies? And how would you make sure that the law enforcement division of the office is sufficiently staffed at all times?
Well, I dare to say that we could probably never have enough deputies. We certainly don't have enough at the present. One of our problems is not many people seem to want the job. We don't get very many applicants when we do advertise the position. There is a testing process. Excuse me, and unfortunately, a lot of people seem to be unable to pass one portion of that process or the other, whether it be the physical or the written part of it. As far as retaining people, many of the deputies that have come and gone have the same frustration that I have, as opposed to leaving or just sitting back and complaining about it. That's why I've stepped up to run, is the environment that you work in. If you have a sheriff that's disinterested or doesn't participate or just doesn't seem to have any concern about how the office is run, it's kind of hard to keep morale up and have a good work environment. And I believe I can change that as far as making a good place to work once we get people. Now, as far as getting people to apply, all we can do is try to go out and encourage young qualified people to come to work for us.
Thank you, Greg. Ken, same question to you. Does the county have enough deputies, and how would you make sure that it's sufficiently staffed?
Well, I don't think, the county has enough deputies. But when I was deputy sheriff, I thought we had a real good sheriff department, in which we had 8 full-time deputies and 4 part-time deputies. And with our auxiliary deputies we have now, you know, I know that's a lot of help, and I'm not 100% for that. But I don't know how many deputies we have right now. 5, or you know, I would place them where they're most needed. I know we have court up here ties up a couple of deputies, but just like this coming Tuesday, we got Halloween. That's very important for our little children to try to keep them safe. And I'd work some way with my auxiliary deputies to try to cover all that and place them in the way where they will, you know, do them best good. As far as having enough, I don't think, you know, Kanawha County is a pretty, you know, wealthy county, and Cabell County, and I don't think they ever would say that they have enough deputies. I don't think we could ever say we have enough. I would take advantage of any kind of programs, any kind of grants or whatever in order to get more deputies. And like my opponent said, Greg, it's hard to get anybody to be a deputy anymore. The fact is, the pay is so low, it's hard to make it. And once you do get some, and I've known this from a past experience, you get them certified, they pack up and leave. Go where? For more money. Can you blame them? No. What we need to do is fight to get them more money.
Thank you, Ken. Lisa, same question to you. How would we have enough deputies and make sure that we're sufficiently staffed at all times?
No, living in the Harts area, I'm well aware that we do not have enough deputies. That's one of the complaints I hear all over Lincoln County. And I know right now we have around 3 is what the recent total was. And for such a large rural county, we've definitely got to have more deputies. And we got to find people that are, as Mr. Hensley said, able to pass the test. So there's grant money out there. We need to work with the county commission to make sure that we get money to protect the people of Lincoln County. And we need to work with our military, our people that's coming back from the military. They are excellent, outstanding citizens, and maybe we could offer some type of program to recruit military people in our county. So I definitely want the maximum amount of deputies we could possibly have for Lincoln County, because we have major crime here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Ken, you get the 5th question first. Prescription drug abuse and methamphetamine production is rampant in Lincoln County. As sheriff, what would you do to help tackle the problem?
Well, first thing I'd do is I would get with my prosecutor. I would talk to him. After all, he's going to be the one up there facing the judge and trying to prosecute these people that's using these drugs and bringing them into our county. And then I would work with my other law enforcement, such as state police, city cops, joining counties, other law enforcement agencies. I would love to have a drug task force. I know it's, again, it takes money to do those things, and I would take advantage of any kind of programs that we could get through the state or federal or whatever, and get in. I think this is number one. What we got to head these drugs off. I would get into schools and have seminars with our young people or children, and head this thing off. Show them what meth and what these prescription drugs is doing to them, and it's not something that you have to be on for 6 months to be addicted. One trip on this meth and you're addicted. I'll not go into the details, but these couple that graduated from high school, was in college, went to a party, and first time ever using meth, they got addicted. And the next morning, there's a big snowstorm that night. The next morning they found them in a snowdrift, both of them dead. One trip on meth, and that's what they received. I would try to teach the young people that's in their schools what this does to them.
Thank you, Ken. Lisa, you're next on that, about prescription drug abuse and meth production in the county. What would you do to help tackle the problem?
Well, as I previously stated on Monday, we definitely have to have the drug task force. I would also like to see a crime drug hotline set up in Lincoln County. And we have got to go into the school levels and educate children at the grade school, middle school, and high school levels. We also need to work closely with our crime watches and help develop more crime watches in the county, and education all the way throughout. And then we've got to be serious about the repercussions of drugs. You know, it just doesn't affect one person. It affects the children in the home. We need to work closely with Adult Protective Services and Child Protective Services to make sure these children aren't being exposed, or the elderly grandparents of these people aren't being exposed and their health compromised. So I would be a tough person to deal with when it comes to these type of issues. But we also got to think about the other impact. What are we going to do to help people get off drugs? We don't have a treatment facility here in this county. Everybody has to go out of town. So, and we've got to work with the prosecutor and the magistrates to ensure that everybody in this county is safe, and hopefully people will become drug-free. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And Greg, same question to you. The drug problem, what would you do to help tackle it?
Certainly the number one problem we have as far as crime. It's tied to everything that takes place. People are stealing to get money to get drugs. I mean, it's tied to everything. I agree with both of them that I'd like to see the prosecutor give maximum sentences, at least for the people that are selling the drugs or bringing it into our county. Aside from that, we already have contact with, there is a drug task force in southern West Virginia, and we do have good information exchange already with the other agencies in the county, as well as some contact with outside counties if we have any reason to believe that, for instance, someone from Cabell County is bringing drugs into Lincoln. Those other agencies have been very good about working with us and trying to stop at least that individual. Aside from that, all we can do is continue to fight it as hard as we can.
Thank you, Greg. And Lisa, our final question is to you. You get answered first. Your predecessor, Sheriff Jerry Bowman, who stepped down last spring, was sentenced to federal prison for his involvement in the absentee ballot conspiracy of 2010. He has begun his sentence. Reflecting on the sentence of 1 year and 1 day handed down to Mr. Bowman, do you think the sentence was too light, too harsh, or just right?
I feel personally the sentence was too light because Mr. Bowman disgraced the office of sheriff. He lost the trust of the people, and he used his position to use intimidation and fear, all to be elected. So I feel it was a slap in the face to every veteran and to every honest citizen in this county who goes out and votes every election to try to voice their opinion and stand up for what they believe. And since he admitted to his name, his signature being on over 80-some ballots, and he only got charged with one crime, I feel the Lincoln County, all of Lincoln County, we didn't get justice. And I'm a firm believer in justice for all. So, therefore, I feel the sentence was too light. I don't understand fully the plea bargain and point system, but I know the federal judges did what they had to do within the law. So I agree with what them, working within their limits. But me personally, I feel it was too light.
Thank you, Lisa. Greg, same question to you. Do you think the sentence for Mr. Bowman was too light, too harsh, or just right?
Well, I agree with Lisa. He certainly caused the sheriff's office to have a bad name. Further than that, it affects us individually as officers because people look at us because we work there for him and assume that somehow we're crooked or criminals as well, and that's just not the case. But as I said on Monday, one of the most difficult things for me to come to terms with when I became an officer was the idea of plea bargains and you know, when you become an officer, it's your job to arrest criminals, and then they're supposed to go to jail. So it took me a long time to accept the fact that that's just kind of the way the system works. It doesn't always make me happy. I don't necessarily agree with the sentence, but it's the sentence they got, and we have to accept it, unfortunately.
Thank you, Greg. Ken, same question to you. Was the sentence too light, too harsh, or just right?
Well, I know I answered this a little different the other night, but I agree with Greg to a certain point, but I think that's something that's got to be left up to the judge.
Okay. We will proceed to closing statements in the order of the draw, and Greg, that means you're first.
Thank you for having us again, Sean. Again, my name's Greg Hensley, Chief Deputy here for 14.5 years, and I've been unhappy with the way that the office has performed largely so far. I think I can make it do better with my experience there. Even with the small force that we have, I think we can perform better than we are currently. I will do my best to get grant money or any other monies available to increase our staff, as I hope that any of my opponents will if they should be elected, so that we can do even better than that. But I believe I can hit the ground running and start off doing better than we have been. Thank you for your support.
Greg, Ken, closing statement.
Like I said in the opening statement, reason I run for sheriff, and I enjoy working with the people, and if I'm elected sheriff, I want to be sheriff of the whole county, not just for a selected few, and I want to have an open door policy to all the people of the county. And like I said in the opening statement, I have some ideals that I think, like my opponent said there, that will hit the ground running if I have the opportunity to enforce them. And I want to bring this in here as our children. I've talked about our children, and all through this campaign, it's about our children and our children's children, making Lincoln County safe for our children and their children and the elderly of this county. I will do my best to make this county safe, and not only just on here on the road, or schools, like the school bus incident there a couple of weeks ago in Nicholas County. The bus run the stops, school bus, hit the little girl, broke her leg, and she was in the hospital. Just thank God that she wasn't, you know, it could have been worse, like over at Fall Creek. That's one thing that we got to concentrate on, and that's one thing I will concentrate on, is making it safe for our children and the elderly people of this county. I will run an honest office if I'm elected. I will have an open door, like I said, to everyone of the county that will be welcome, and I need your support and your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. And Lisa, closing statement from you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Ramey, and I'm asking for your support to be sheriff of Lincoln County, because I really, truly care about Lincoln County, and I'm tired of us being the laughingstock in the state, and we deserve a better county. What can we all do about it? Well, we can all be involved. And as sheriff, I would be out at least once a week going to the communities, talking to people, you know, about your ideas and your problems, and trying to address it the best way we could. I would also be closely involved with the Crime Watch, and we would try to recruit more people to be involved in the Crime Watches, because we have a great place to live here. It's just the outlaws have taken over, and now it's time for the honest people to take our county back, and for us to gain respect and let everybody know that we're not going to tolerate it anymore. So I'm asking for your support, and please come out and vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. That concludes our candidate forums. We wish to thank the three sheriff candidates in particular for being so understanding after our technical problems of last Monday. I must say their answers were remarkably similar to what they said last Monday, and that's a tribute to all of them, and we thank them. We urge you to watch all the videos from our forums online as you come to make your decisions, but above all else we urge you to vote. Early voting continues on weekdays until 4:30 p.m. each day. Next Saturday, November 3rd, from 9 until 5 p.m. is the final day of early voting, and then 16 precincts in Lincoln County will be open on election day from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. Results coverage will start at 7:30 on election night, Tuesday, November 6th, at lincolnjournal.com. We'll have our usual streaming news updates as we get information at the count centre. We look forward to you joining us. Thank you.